Can you name some players that you played with in your WHL career that some of the followers might recognize?
Yeah, well, it was really strong those years. Well, it's always a strong league. There's always good players coming up, but it's funny. Me and Jamie, we both left. Like we were line mates in junior A, and we both left to go over to the WHL. Like I think a month or two apart, and he went to Kelowna, but Kelowna had, I remember playing against the top D pair in there, Luke Shen and Tyler Myers. They were the shutdown D, and Myers is 6'7" and Shen is 6'4", something like that. And then our line was playing against them every night. So like, it's two top guys to play against, which was never fun. And then obviously Jamie, was a great player in that league. There were tons, Evander Kane, Brendan Gallagher. The list goes on. There's, tons and tons of players that were playing there that are in the NHL now and very successful NHL players. So,
yeah. What was your practices like between, I guess, the BCHL and WHL? Like, was there? These days it's a lot of skill development at any level, including the pros. We were working on your skating, your edges, turning, delays, passing, shooting type stuff. But what was it like back then? The differences between obviously different on coaching styles, but also I'm trying to figure out to remember what the mindset was like for.
Yeah, I think like the skills coaches, skill coaches, skill development is like really taken off like in these past 3-4 years for sure. But even back then, I think when I was playing junior A, it was more so just practices, like just team practices, and we were doing that. But when I went to the Giants, it was like a whole nother thing. They had a skills coach, and that was like the first time I really had it. His name was Yogi, and I would have to look up his full name. It's been so long, but he was this Czech player and first round draft pick by Washington Capitals, and he was unbelievable. And it was unfortunate he had like a career-ending injury like early in his career. He only got to play like 1 or 2 years in the NHL, but anyways, he was signed. He was living in Vancouver, and he was our skills coach, and he worked with us every single day. And that's where I like really started to develop like the puck protection and stuff like that, because that was so key. And every day after practice, we would have to work with him, or he would have like the option to work with him, and he would just teach you these little skills that were like so important, and they made like such a big impact in games.
So can you, I'm even extremely interested because of how I see some things done with our pro coaches, whether it be in the East Coast AHL and even NHL training camps. But how I kind of see is like, is a lot of these coaches kind of like throw you in a one-on-one battle, and it's like, be in that hockey stance, be big, be strong, protect the puck away from the defender. Like, what type of little drills do you remember? What?
Yeah, honestly, a lot of it was pretty similar to what you would say, but okay. He would pick in, a lot of it was, we did tons of skill stuff. It wasn't just puck protection, but what I really remembered was the puck protection, because, a lot of that, it was just one-on-one. You go in there with a guy, but he would just teach you how to protect the puck, like how using your inside knee, keeping the stick away from your body, and then like turning on a dime to, like feeling his weight on one side of you and using that to turn the other way and lose the guy. And I just remember some guys like Gallagher and Craig Cunningham, one of my other buddies, developed that, and it changed their whole game. Like they were skilled players and good players, but they were unbelievable. Some of the best I've ever seen at that. And you could just see it in games. It's like they had the puck the whole game, because no one could take the puck from them. So I think it's huge to develop that, and like definitely from a young age,
Yeah, and teaching. In today's game now, it's not been talking with lots of different even parents and old coaches, but just how, back then it's all about like dumping the puck in and getting a going after it. Even at the younger ages, they're teaching that before, and give and goes. Now it's like kids just hang on to it for so long because they've
Exactly.
been teaching that stuff, but also their edges are so much better. The skating is skills is
Yeah,
so much better.
totally.
Totally different. But yeah, okay. Definitely makes sense. And then how about as for you being a great skater since a young age, in the I guess the older generation game of we're in the older generation too. Just being a smaller guy, you just had to, you had to be really good at something, and you either had to be really, really quick, or you had to be really, really smart, or really fast. And you know what type of attributes, I guess, or things that maybe dad, mom, or trainers helped you with to get that? Like what type of stuff would help you?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's funny because it sounds insane, but like my dad had me on the ice like basically like when I started to walk, like
Yep.
it's crazy, like at a very, very young age. And then like growing up, my dad, like he literally had me on the ice as much as I could possibly be out there. And, he would have me just go out to like father son hockey, like open skates, like just to like get me on the ice at a young age. And I think like, even though I was so young, like I just being out there and just being like comfortable on my skates, like at that age, it just like really helped me. And then, so I feel like I kind of had the edge on
Yeah.
kids just always a little bit. And then, like you said, obviously, like at that age, you have no idea how big you're gonna get. But you know, it was a little bit different back then. Now it's speed is everything, but even back then, it was obviously so important. But I knew I wasn't going to be, a huge bruising forward. So, I think I kind of just told myself, and like my dad knew that as well too. He's like, if you want to make it, and you want to play professional hockey, like you're going to have to be a best skater, and you're
Yeah.
going to have to stand out one way or another. And
You
yeah,
know,
so
I even was starting early, skating on early, but even sounds like you, and just watching you over the years and knowing you since I don't even know, I knew you since I was probably like 10 years old, maybe even a bit younger, but you could always skate, and always had been a player to watch kind of thing. And you probably knew how to skate before you knew how to run.
yeah, seriously. So, um, but yeah, it's like you can't say it enough. Like that's and especially now, it's just so important. And that's definitely what got me noticed, and always had me make these teams and kind of be a player to watch at a young age because I was usually one of the top skaters. So
Yeah.